What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the TopStep journey of the 150K account. This will be Ep.5. We had a pretty frustrating week, to say the least, and honestly, last 2 weeks. But I am just going to get right into it and show you guys the mistakes I made and what happened. So here you go. Okay, yeah, so frustrating week. So this is the current condition of our TopStep evaluation. These are skewed because TradeZella likes to round up a little bit. The Trade of 8 balance is like 14800, so it's like around $2,000. Yeah, the count right now is more towards the $2,000 in the red. So this is what our calendar is looking like. This is probably the worst trading week that I've ever had, or 2 trading weeks, I mean. The worst beginning to a month I've ever had, which is fine. Yeah, so here we go. We're going to go over what we did wrong this week and what we were watching. So yeah, first trade of the week, Monday. Monday was a day before a lot of news this week. We had PPI Tuesday and CPI Wednesday, I believe. And I was basically expecting Monday to be kind of like a ranging day with low volume. And I wasn't expecting much from it. So what our plan was, though, was to see how it reacted to this previous session high, and this would be the pre-market high as well. I just didn't want to stack them up like that. So yeah, as you can see, pre-market we sold off from the previous session high, and then at the open we got an aggressive sell-off, and I didn't take this short because I don't like taking positions before 8:45. I just haven't done that yet. It might be something I end up changing at some point, but I just wasn't comfortable taking that short right off the open. So that was the initial reaction. And then what happened was, after that, I remember seeing some buying in this area, I believe. Yeah, so I took a long at 4975, which was right up here, and I was anticipating a possible 10-point rally up here and then possibly a test of the previous session high. As you can see, we didn't get it. We were moving in our direction right away, which I did like, and then I believe we were up, what did I say? I took it at 49.75. So we went up just around like 4 or 5 points, and then I moved my stop to break even because I didn't like how we weren't able to break through VWAP. So on the VWAP situation, I took it off. I didn't like it, and we walked away from that day with a break-even trade. So yeah, now I'm gonna set up our Tuesday levels real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so these were the levels we were watching for Tuesday. I'm gonna change the pre-market to a different color real quick. All right, so this is what we were looking at Tuesday. Tuesday we had the PPI news at 7:30, I believe. So yeah, 7:30. You can tell we got a nice sharp sell-off. It was about 30 points-ish, we'll call it, and a nice bounce right off the low down here. It looked like we basically got above and then tested our previous session low, kind of, right here, and then decided that we wanted to stay above it. So basically, I didn't take anything for the first hour, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. First position was at 9:43. Honestly, I don't really remember this day as well as I remember some of the other days this week, but let's see how it went. So yeah, we looked for a short position at this VWAP area, it looks like. So yeah, we looked like, all right, I remember this sell-off, and then I remember seeing we were under VWAP, and I was expecting continuation, probably a test of this previous session low, and then further on. We didn't get that, as you can see by my P&L on that trade, but that's what we were looking for the first one. So that entry was at 9:43. Entry was around right here, 9:43, and then got stopped out. And then I remember we got stopped out at like 9:52, I think, or something. So yeah, the next trade was the same thesis. I'm gonna have to go watch the book map replay to see exactly what my whole thesis was, because off the top of my head I can't really remember, but this is what happened. So we got another short entry, 47, still speculating, further drop, stopped out, and then this one was another short, which we entered 2 minutes after we stopped up the last one, and we it looks like we basically just mistimed this a little bit. I think what happened was we went in my favor here, and I wanted to move stop to break even, it looks like, because I didn't want to lose 3 full losses in a day, which is honestly kind of, I should have just probably set the brackets and let it play out, knowing that it was a little late in the day, past 11, which would be my final deadline for entries. Just the way I do it. But yeah, it looks like if I would have set a bracket, I would have had a 4-point, which would have been around 58, and I wouldn't have hit it. We would have had a nice 12-pointer or a 10-pointer, which is normally my profit target. So we should have let that one play out. But I mean, it would have taken like a whole 2 hours, it looks like. So I mentioned in my video that I posted how I passed TopStep 150K account my first try. I mentioned that my best trades I noticed they basically lasted all around 20 minutes, 25 minutes or less. So I didn't like how it was taking so long over here, which is why I moved the stop to break even. So that was, yeah, I should have been trading in this area. I remember seeing some buying here, and I remember seeing the selling happening here. This would have been the most ideal area to get a setup in. And I think now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that I did see something here or here and I didn't take it. So I'm gonna have to rewatch the bookmap replay, but those are, like I said, in my Telegram link below. So if you want to see the bookmap replays and reviews that I do, go check that out in the Telegram. But yeah, I mean, looking right now, you can kind of see price wasn't accepting the previous session close, wasn't accepting below it after this whole PPI reaction. So that could have been a little long indication there, but I mean, the short did end up working if I would have let it play out in a bracket order. So that was Tuesday. Now I'm gonna set Wednesday up real quick. And I remember Wednesday was a frustrating one. Okay, so Wednesday we had CPI data at 7:30, and I do remember Wednesday being a tough one because we had a nice trade and then we let it go break even on us. So let's see, our first entry was a short at 5297, which would have been in this area. Let's see what time it was, 8:34. So we took a short right away. And what I remember my whole plan was I liked how we were staying below the pre-market high over here, and I wanted to see the 50% of this CPI move get tapped, and that was my profit target. So let's see what happened here. It looks like we entered at 8:34 and immediately got stopped out. So that would have been within this candle, 5-minute stopped out for the 4-point as always. And I do remember there being selling in that area, and that's the whole reason why I took it. So then we did the same entry short here, and then we stopped out for a 3-point this time, which would have been 5,300. What was it? 5,375? 5,325. So we took a short 5,325. So yeah, stopped out there too. Same thesis. I liked how we were under the pre-market high and continuing. I think I remember seeing multiple reactions in the book map of selling stepping in at that pre-market high, and this one was the frustrating one. So we got it once again, 5,375 at what time? 42, which would have been in this candle here. So we got it at a good entry, decently good entry, good stop. And then, like I said before, we were speculating the 50% level to get tested or tapped at least. And this is what was frustrating. We were up 1,400 on the trade at one point, but just because we wanted, I believe, let's see what the 50% was real quick. So I actually had my level set, I think, right here. If you would have taken it from this bar, we actually did tap it. But yeah, so my 50% was like, I believe it was 8,475 was what my real profit target was. So as you can see, we were up 1,400. We got a little greedy. We probably should have taken at least one off. and we had to settle for a break even, which was very tough to watch given our whole last week and a half situation. So yeah, Wednesday was tough. Pretty sure that was the final trade I took. Just make sure real quick. Yeah, that was the last one. So we had the right idea a couple times up here. Second trade would have actually saved me a $300 loss if I let it go one more point higher on a stop. It's all right. We should have taken that off. We should have just taken that off once it hit 1200, which is like normally. That's how I passed the first one. Every single time I hit 1200, I just took the whole position off. So I probably should have done that. It's whatever. We can see now that it wasn't breaking through VWAP. And yeah, that would have been a good sign at least to take one off. So that's a tough one. And then didn't trade Thursday. Let's just go over to Thursday real quick and see what I was seeing. Yeah, I didn't take anything Thursday, but I guess I could have possibly caught something here. What time was it? 10? Could have caught something in here. I mean, I didn't take anything, so I'm not going to even talk about it. I was definitely on the computer and trying, or I was definitely on the computer and showed up, but nothing. So let me set up the last day, Friday, which was another tough one, and I'll be back with that. Okay, so Friday was a rough one, I remember, and I'm just gonna let you guys know right now, these are all the same level right here. I just didn't want them all just like stacked up, so I just moved the close down here, even though this isn't where it is. So this is all the same area right here. Previous low, the pre-market, previous low, previous close, and the pre-market low for this day is all at the same price. So I do remember I wanted to see this box basically represent kind of like a demand zone. It was a little bit of consolidation from Wednesday. And so, yeah, I was basically looking for longs off this box right there. We definitely bounced, or we're kind of consolidating on top of it. First trade, $275 loss, which was a short, I believe, 857. Was it in here? No. So this was me. This was a bad entry. This was me getting a little bit greedy for a dub from the last 2 weeks. I just wanted to win. So this is a bad entry right here. We took a short because of the whole VWAP situation that was happening. And as you can see, we got stopped out for a 2.75 point loss. I'm not really even sure what's up with that, but that's what happened. So there's that. We took a long here at 5/3/20, which should have been, what time was it? It was 9. So we took a long right here after we saw that we did get a bounce off our box right here, and we were speculating a break of the pre-market high and then possibly a touch of the session open up here. That was our whole thesis, and clearly didn't work out. We got stopped out for 3 points, or almost 4 points here. That happened pretty quickly within 8 minutes. It's a tough one, and I'm almost positive that this one went in our direction here. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe none of them did. Whatever. Another long we took basically off this box, if I'm not mistaken. So we took another long right here, and it did. I remember this one was slow, but we got up about 5-6 points, so we moved it to break even. Stopped out again. As you can see, this day in general was just one of those ranging days for the first 4 hours. So that was just, we should honestly just stop trading that, which I guess we did. But Friday was just a ranging day. It was tough to trade. Bad beginning entry right here. This was against my plan. The first entry I had. Second entry was a little bit of a missed time. And then third entry kind of worked out, and then ended up not continuing to our target. So yeah, that was the week. I mean, as you can see, it's been a tough go for us. And I mean, publicly trading that is like honestly, I want to say it's definitely not affecting me too much. Like, I'm not like thinking about what people are like. I'm not really embarrassed that I'm losing or anything, but it's just like we had a good winner over here that turned into a break even, or was it this day? I think it was Wednesday, and uh, like not really the same on Friday, but Friday we had one that was a good entry that didn't really play out in our favor. But let me just say, yeah. So as you guys can see, this evaluation is just not going the best right now. It's not going the worst. I mean, we're just making some mistakes, taking entries. Like I said, I think we had 2 against my plan here. We had 1 against my plan here. I forget what this day was. Good trade Friday. Wasn't expecting much. Our plan actually played out on Monday, but I didn't want to take it because it was before 8:45, like I said. Yeah, just a tough 2 weeks. I mean, it's just like L after L. I can't really get a. It's like when I do get an entry, I'm not taking the money off when I should, and yeah, it's just been tough. So hopefully next 2 weeks are better. Yeah, honestly, I thought that doing this, like kind of documenting it on YouTube and stuff, would kind of like affect the way I feel about these whole, like the whole trading, like, you know, kind of mess up my psychology and stuff. And like, I honestly don't feel too much pressure from like doing it publicly as I thought I would. I mean, obviously, like it sucks looking like this off the first 2 weeks of like beginning this whole journey on YouTube, but like, no, I don't really feel like it's affecting my entries. Like, I genuinely believe that the going against my plan here and the one time here, that's like it's not me wanting to get money in this account for the public thing. It's like me wanting to get money in this account because I want to get money in this account. And it's like, I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think that I thought it was going to kind of like mess with me and like make me feel like way differently about putting it on YouTube, but it's really not. But yeah, so we're going to hopefully get a good next 2 weeks. I'm gonna make sure I'm taking at least 1 contract off anytime I'm above 10 points. I hope you're learning from my mistakes. So far, my biggest mistakes have been, I would say, kind of going against my plan and not taking money off the table when I should. I would definitely not say revenge trading, but like definitely a little eager to put a position on some days, which is definitely a mistake too. So if you're watching these, I hope you're learning from these, and I hope that it's helping you in your own evaluation. But yeah, that'll be it for this one. So I'll catch you guys in episode 6 or in a different video before that.